Well, today on Paulette's Paper Play, I have something new with something older and just lots of things to do with these. You can see that you is what this is all about. Yes, that's you. And this is one of the projects that I've done. So won't you please come play with us? Well, the U cutting die is something that we've had, and we had a stamp to go with it that had all of the messages, but that stamp sold out quite a while ago, and these have kind of been languishing. So I thought, well, instead of the stamp, why don't we do cutouts? So we have done them, and you get a sheet of each in the package. So it's one package with these two, and there are tons. In fact, I should have counted them, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 3, 36, 36, 72. Okay, 72 cutouts and the dies. And I've got lots of projects to show you, so we're going to get going. And you can see that you're just going to trim these out. And at the end, I'll tell you the one thing that I didn't do that I thought of later. So we're just going to get started. This is the first one, and we'll get in close. Thank you, Jeanette. And this is our Dazzle cards. This is butterflies. Now we only have 3 styles that are available. One snowflakes, the butterflies, and then a corner treatment. And there are 5 in here with 5 envelopes and an idea. And what I did, I guess this is a blending of new and old all the way. So I used our watercolor. These are watercolor cakes, and there are 21 in here, and there's 2 brushes, and super, super easy to use. I do confess that I used the water brush just because it made it faster and easier. And all you do, literally all you do, is use your brush or the water brush, either way. Take the top off and just dip it into the color, whatever color you want. This blue actually perfectly matched the cardstock that I used, and just color in. And at first it's going to be darker, but then as you use more, it's going to get lighter. So you can see that I used the blue just on the 3 butterflies. And so I've got dark and light, bottom dark, top light, and then I reversed it for this one, and this one is dark in the middle, light on the outside, just a little bit of play. And then I cleaned it off, and then I went into the yellow. So if, and the other thing I like is that this is really a low price, it's under $10, so I thought that was great. I went into the yellow and did the center of the butterflies and the flowers, and then went back and did green for the leaves. Super easy, super, super easy. And that made me feel very artistic, and so I recommend it to you. Okay, then I added our gold jewel dazzles. This is the sheet with 540 pieces, and that just gave me a bit of sparkle, and I'm hoping that you can see that. Maybe we should get in closer. So this is going to give me the framework, and that's exactly what I wanted. And in the cutting die, you will notice that there is a script U, and then there is just all capital U. And so I did the all capital U. This was actually the very first one that I made. And then I played around with the words. So the words, you can be either the first word or the last word in the sentence. So love you, so that love would go on the top. I'm thankful for you could go on the top. I went with you are amazing because I thought that would be a wonderful thing to receive. The cardstock that I used is this package that we brought in. And this has just 15 colors. You get 2 of each. This is an A5 size, I believe, so it is smaller. It's not the 8.5 by 11, so it's a half size. And so I cut the U out. I glued it down. Now, I did find that it worked better to either use the precision press or to use the Cosmic Shimmer glue in the bottle, because that's going to give you a fine line for these smaller areas on your U's, okay? And then I cut out the are amazing, and then I slipped it just under the U, And that way they're kind of visually connected as well as connected when you say them. So you are amazing. Isn't that fun? Now, this is very pretty and delicate on the front, and I wanted something different for the inside. So are you ready? Okay, how about that? Just kind of a smashing, and I thought that would be fun. And I wanted to use the script one because I used the all capital on the front. Use the same colors, you might notice. So I took the, this is the gold sequin cardstock. You can almost see, we call it that because we can almost see the sequins, but it's smooth and it die cuts beautifully. And so I did die cut it with the largest oval scallop that we have in the package. There are 10 of them. And so I cut that out of the sparkle and then glued it to my card. And then I used that same blue that I used here and did the next smaller oval that is not scalloped. And I did use extra sticky tape to attach that to the sequin. So our good old pal extra sticky tape, which you will be seeing later. And then I die cut out the script U and also glued it in place. Now these butterflies are out of the jewel acetate die cut butterflies. And as you know, we typically kind of fold on each side of the body so that the wings go up, and then put about a ½ inch of the extra sticky tape on the back of the body and attach it to our project. The nice thing about it too is that even if my butterflies are a little large, you can still read through them because they are acetate. So I've got 2 looks in one, so you get to choose or have both of them like I did. Okay, so that is my first project. Oh, I do want to tell you that I also used Lene's trick of using the jewel picker, which I think is very cleverly done with our jewel dazzles. You know, thought that was nice of them to name it that. And in case you haven't used this before, you simply go into the dazzle, and I think this is going to be kind of hard to see on this. Let's see, I'll do the bigger one. It's got 2 ends. This is a fat end and a narrow end. And you just press down pretty hard, don't worry about it, and it will lift up like that. And then you simply place it wherever you want to place it. Okay, so I'm going to place this one back in, and it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, card number 1. Card number 2 has a very different look, and that's the one I showed you at the beginning. This is using our new Center Step Plus cutting dies, and it's plus because it has 2 steps on each side. So I'm going to open this a little bit so you can see. So there's 1 step and there's the 2nd step. Just nice like that. This was fun to do. Okay, and actually that's what is fun about a product like this, is that you can play with different papers and different looks, and that's really great. And what I chose was the Whispering Florals. This is the solid cardstock that I used with the cutting die to cut my card base. Okay, and this is a 10-inch long cutting die. So, and it's 6 inches wide. It'll go right through your Big Shot, your Gemini Junior, so that's just perfectly fine. But it is longer than the base of the cutting die machine, so you can either just put your paper on and run it through halfway and then turn it around and run it the other half, or you can use the extended plates. So we have these in stock just in case you want to use that. It just makes it a little bit easier. Now, I used Whispering Florals on the cardstock, which is going to give me a piece that is a lighter purple on one side and a darker purple on the inside, which is exactly what I wanted. So, of course, I'm using Whispering Florals 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. Now, with this, this is the sheet that I'm going to be using because I'm using these large cutouts. So handy. Okay, so what I did is I decided that I wanted to mix up where my words were. So I'm doing the script one this time. And you can see I cut it out of the same cardstock that I cut the card out of. So that it just matches and just made it easy. And I wanted to have something with the words on top. So sending a hug to you just seemed nice. And I used this one. And I did that, I chose that one because I liked that white area. I felt it would kind of blend in with my white piece, okay? So I put those two in, and then it looked fine, but it looked a little naked. So I went back to my solid cardstock, and I pulled out Bloom and Grow. And this is one of the delightful dimensionals. So I am using 2 cutting dies in this. That's how it is. And I really wanted something that would kind of go around this and kind of frame it. So you see how my hands are doing. That's exactly what I wanted. And that's exactly what this has. So this is really a very abundant die. And so I did cut it also out of the solid, the Whispering Floral solid. And you can see I've got a couple of colors of the green. So this is just one of these sprays. And then I've got it on the second step. I have a darker one. Let's see. Yeah, let me show you that. There you go. So you can see that that's darker. And then I reversed it, made it darker in the front and lighter in the back. I did ink those, of course, because that just adds such dimension. And I used khaki for the lighter green and holly green for the darker green. It's no big deal. Just ink it on the edges and it's fine. You don't have to fuss with it or anything because whatever you do will be perfect. Okay. Then I went into the butterflies. So there's one butterfly and it's a really nice size. And I did it out of the light pink of the Whispering Florals. And I edged it with the orchid and then also the flowers. Now the flowers can be layered, and you can see that there's a big one, small, there's several layers. And I used those, and I did them out of different colors. That's not true. I did out of the same color, different shades, okay? So that's a light pinky purple, then there's a purple, and there's a darker purple. And I also inked those with the orchid and the violet ink pads, again, just to give some depth. And this is something to hold on to because I think that this is going to come in very handy. And so that finished up my card. Now notice I've got that layered flower here. Here I've got just 2 of the smaller flowers. I just felt like it needed something more. The butterfly, and then I put another butterfly up here. I wanted that pinky purple color to get extended. And then for the inside, now a lot of people don't do the inside. They let that be for the person to, do their message. But no, I wanted to do another one. So this is another of the pieces, this one. And I just trimmed it to fit and just glued it in place. And I also wanted to bring in the dark ones. So this is the capital. Make me smile. And I thought they just worked nicely. Again, I've got them connected, and I do that on everything. And there's another butterfly down here from the cutting die. So, and this will fit into our 10 envelopes. So no problem with sending it out. And that's what we do with most of the fabulous folded cutting dies. So I hope you like this. I was very pleased with it. And speaking of being very pleased, I took a page from our Debbie. And Debbie, as you may know, is one of our staff designers, and she also does all of the webisodes for the Fabulous Folded. She does all the designing. What she does all the time is she takes the cutting die and does it differently, okay? So I did that. So here's what I did. I took the Trifold Surprise card cutting die. This again is a longer one. Sorry about that, but just how it worked. And this makes a cutting die that looks like this. And you open it like so. And you can kind of see that on the front. Okay, it's one die. And it's true, I didn't say this, but it's true with all of our dies, actually. There are instructions on the back. We'll tell you how to fold it. Super easy. And actually, that's a really good look for you to see the whole thing, too. But what I did is, instead of turning it this way, I turned it vertically. See, Debbie's not the only clever one. And I felt really good about that. So I used and I chose Flower Queen. Flower Queen, I think, is a wonderful set. Although that first sheet is dark, that is, as you can see, not the only sheet inside. And this is a sheet that I use. So I wanted something very different from my last card. See, a lot of effort goes into this. And the only thing that was tricky is that I needed to be sure how I was going to place my cutting die. So, as you can see, I trimmed off the top part of it and did my cutting die here. So my idea in my head was to have all of this beautiful floral on the left side of my card. Well, I do want to tell you, in full disclosure, that that's not what I did the first time. So this is fine for a card that opens up differently, but that's not what I meant to do. I meant to open it like this. So you just want to be sure of what you're getting when you place your cutting die. Okay, does that make sense? So place your die. You may have to put it on the back side of the cardstock, just whatever is going to work for you. And you will want to trim off that top part. So whatever paper you use, that's a good message. Then, because I had all of that, I really wasn't going to add too much more, but I wanted to really highlight that red, because I thought the red in there against the yellow is just a pow. So in this card, I'm doing shades of the same color, but here I'm doing something very different, which pleases me. So I went into everything that I had that was red, and let me show you what I got. And I went ahead and did the script. So the first one that I did was just out of the red cardstock that matches the Flower Queen. And it's red, but it's just not a powy red, so I knew I wanted to move. This is red suede. And as you probably know, with any suede, it's going to be a rich color, a deep color, and that certainly is there. However, I could have also used red glitter. Now, isn't that kind of neato? Yes, but I didn't. And I could have used the red mirror. And this is the, because there are several reds, this is the ruby red. So I have that right there, which I thought worked nicely. Or I could have done our, did you know we had so many reds? This is our red diamond, and that's what this one is. And that gives me the deep red. It also gives me a bit of a polish, that brushed diamond. So those were my options. As you can see, I took the suede, but it was kind of fun to do. And then I've got them for later too. So that was nice. Now here, I elected to go with the dark first. I just thought that that, again, is a very different color against the yellow and would really pop. And again, I'm connecting them, same thing. So I've got You, Brighten My Day, and then I wanted to mix the black and the white. So I cut out Are the Best Friend, and I glued it so that Best Friend would be showing, because it's pretty long, and that was the only place it would fit. So that's what I did. And then on the inside, I've got two panels. So I have this panel, and then I have this panel. So I went black, white, just to give it some interest. So You Brighten My Day, You Are So Kind, You Make Me Smile, You Mean the World to Me, You Are the Best Friend. So that worked nicely. And then, are you seeing some flash of sparkle? That is the butterfly Dazzles, which should be on this table in front of me. You see, by the time I get to this third card, I've got things buried, I'm afraid. Okay, well, take my word for it. These are the butterfly dazzles, and there are side butterflies that can just perch on a word, and there are 3 different sizes. This is the little guy, and so you can see that I've got them, and then I put a couple in a row. And then I also did the 3D one. So in that, you want to make sure to use the exact same shape, because there are a couple of different shapes of butterflies on that sheet. And so pull out one, and then you're going to attach the wings of one to the wing of another, the wing of this to the wing of another, and you're going to get this 3D effect. Can we get in closer? And okay, see the 3D? And what's nice about it is that you can push that sucker flat and it's still going to pop up. So that's nice. And that will work nicely for you. So you can do that on all of them or just one, whatever you choose. Now, this again will fit into our 10 envelopes. And I just was very pleased that I played a Debbie and turned this differently. I've never seen that, so that felt really good. Okay, I have one more. And since these were all pretty and frilly, I thought, okay, it's time to give the guys a chance. So I elected to do a little bit more of a masculine card. And this is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card. And because I knew I wanted it to be masculine, I chose the Nature's Touch cardstock. So here is what Nature's Touch looks like. So it gave me that kind of outdoorsy look. And a couple of things happened during the process. I chose this green because there's green and brown and blue. Actually, let me show you. See the thumbnails of them? We can get in a little bit closer to show you that. And so you can see there's kind of a rust, the blue, brown, green here. And what I decided to do was to go into the green. And there is a tree here that I very carefully positioned on the right-hand side of my card. And then I promptly covered it up. So I know you can't see it, but it's there in my heart. And so I covered the card with that. And then I took this tan that has some script on it. It's, oh, by the way, I did write all the directions. They're down below. Just click on the card, you'll see. And then I edged this with cocoa bean. This is a darker brown than this. Usually I go kind of similar, but it's a darker brown, and I liked it because I knew I was going brown here. Okay, so I glued that, inked it, and then glued it in place. Then I went into Tag in a Bag, our perennial favorite around here. And I will show you, hopefully you know about this because it's just great. And often we do that with the Tag in the Bag separately, but I decided to take a cue from the cover of the cutting die package and put it on the card. Plus I wanted this masculine look. So it's super easy. You have the bag and you have the tag. I have the bag. I have a tag. I'll show you that in a minute. And you do put it together, put the bag together with extra sticky tape. The instructions are on the back, along with the image of what this looks like. And this one hasn't been opened. Okay, so there you go. And you just overlap those. And when you're doing an envelope, you've got it flat, then put, let's see, let me show you this with the cutting die, just in case you haven't seen it before. And you can see that with this card being 5 by 6.5, this is really a very nice size. So when you die cut it, it's going to be like this. So you've got paper. So you're going to bring all of these in as you fold them. Then open up the flaps, have this down, and put extra sticky tape on the back of that flap. And then just bring these sides in, and they will overlap perfectly. And you can see that here, that little pinked edge, let's get in close, is perfectly aligned. So that will work nicely. I guess Jeanette didn't hear me, so okay, we'll leave that there. And I did this out of the brown. It's got script in the back, which is what I used here. And so that has become this. And then I did the same cocoa bean on the edges because I really wanted it to show up nicely. Okay, the tag I'll show you in just a second, okay? So going in here, I again went into my brown collection of things. So let me share that with you. This is out of the brown crocodile. Now this is embossed. It comes to you embossed. It is a paper, but it is embossed and it's lovely. There's also in black, but I chose the brown. And I'm using my capital U because I just really wanted that big and bold. Now I could have used the bronze sequin. Remember we did the gold earlier? This is the bronze. So I could have done that. I could have done brown glitter. I actually should show it to you there. Okay, there's the brown glitter. And there is the bronze sequin. Very nice. Fun to have the glitter. I could have done the fireworks. There is a brown fireworks. Let me show you the whole sheet. It's a holographic. But when you die cut it, you just get part of that sparkle. And that would have been okay. That would have been fine. But I didn't do that. Then I went into the suede, of course. This is the mocha brown, which would have worked nicely, but you see I've already used suede, so I didn't want to do that again. The tan brown is just too light, so of course that wouldn't have been good. So those were my options. Again, I've got these all cut so I can use them later, but it was fun to use the crocodile. And I did the black. And at that point, it was a little plain, I hate to say. So I did go into my Dazzles, and these are the fern Dazzles, and that just did the trick. Now we've got two Dazzles ferns. One is black and one is copper. One is black, one is green, and the other is copper. But I did use that here. And I told you I would show you the inside. So here is the tag. This has a little squirrel, and there's lots of little animals in the Nature's Touch. They're all like this, so they're not big and bold. They're kind of nested into the landscape. So here is my script, and you can see that I used the bronze sequin. So you are loved, you are my joy. So this is going to make somebody very happy. This is the ribbon out of the brown ribbon set. And I used the crepe and I just threaded it through. Then I tied it with the 1/4 inch stitched brown. And I liked that look. So that's going to get tucked right in there. Oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you. The oval border Dazzles, out of the one set, there is a brown. And so I did 2 rows, 1 row of the oval and 1 row of the piece that's between the ovals. So there and there, you can see a little bit of smudge right there. So that finished my card front. And I liked this green, and I liked having these swirly looks, even though this is meant to be a masculine card. Okay, now for the inside. Oh, I didn't tell you. Minor point. This is a tent card, so I lied earlier. This is a 5x7 card. This is the tent cards, so I apologize for that. Okay, going to the inside of my card. So this is the blue leaves, so it has skeleton leaves all over, which I just love. And I just covered the inside, making sure not to put my paper over the score line. Now this is one of the cutout sheets. And again, we're going to get in super close, super, since I forgot to pull this out. Very good. And you see the deer? Well, there's also the tree. Whoops, this is going fuzzy. I'm going to have to move it. Sorry, guys. So I cut that out and did the same thing, inked the edge with the cocoa bean. And I wanted to I liked that look of the deer. I thought that was really pretty. Did the same oval Dazzles, and these are the copper ferns. and they're just listed as ferns. The other is listed as green ferns. And again, I have used my script on the front, but I've also used my capitals, so I could use either one on the inside, going by what I was planning, and I used the capital. This is the glitter. My heart is with you. So it's a very loving, loving message, and I definitely wanted to get some masculine in there, so that was fun to do and to share with you. So what do you think? I'm excited that we have so many options for you, and the verbiage is really supportive. It's caring, which is, of course, what we want also. And like I said, you're going to get the white sheet and the black sheet together, and so that's going to give you those over 70 pieces, and the cutting die right there. Now, I have put together a money saver, of course. It's over on the right-hand side of your screen, and you will be saving $8 by getting the money saver. So I pulled some of the specialty papers and things for you. So they are right there. And just again, want to show you the variety of looks that you can get. And you know, we're all about versatility here and giving you just lots and lots of options. And it is all about you, isn't it? So we like that. Okay, that's my story for today. And I do want to tell you that these are only available at paperwishes.com, of course. Just the variety of things that we have, and it is fun to play with those specialty papers, I do have to tell you. And if you are watching this on YouTube, we hope that you will like us there. And head on over to Paper Wishes. You can check out the instructions. They're down below. See all the goodies that we have. And by now you know that we have a ton of very specialty papers that just add an extra pizzazz to your projects. And that's fun to have. Okay, well, thank you for joining me. But most of all, thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. Okay, Lene will be here tomorrow. Bye-bye.